Almost everyone can agree that Taylor Swift is a great songwriter. Writing all of her own songs is one of the things that sets her apart from other artists and shows her true talent. Some fans even refer to her as a lyrical genius, and many like to break down her songs to find the hidden meaning. Taylor writes about her life and things that actually happened and is a great storyteller. Listening to her songs, you feel as if you're reliving the story through her. During COVID, she decided to switch it up and write a fictional love story through 3 songs on her album Folklore. Originally, when the album was released, fans did not decipher the story fully. It wasn't until she released a documentary titled Folklore, The Long Pond Studio Sessions, where she goes into detail about how she came up with the characters in the story, that fans were able to really look into the lyrics and put together the story, or love triangle as many have deemed it. The story starts with Cardigan, which is told from Betty's point of view. She explains a love she felt with a boy who we later find out is James. She talks about feeling loved and safe with James until he cheats on her with another girl. This other girl is later identified as Augustine. Taylor uses a cardigan in the song as the sentimental item that reminds Betty of the past intense relationship. Taylor was inspired by the image of a cardigan that still bears the scent of loss 20 years later. While it is a reminder of a time Betty would probably rather forget, it also brings her comfort. It is then revealed that the relationship ended because of James's infidelity. This is shown in the line, "Chase 2 girls, lose the one." Betty also says, "Would haunt all of my what-ifs," showing she is scarred from the relationship and would carry it with her. She also says James would miss me once the thrill expired, which is proven when James shows up on her doorstep unannounced. That story is told in the song Betty, however, the next part is told in the song August, where we hear from the girl James cheated on Betty with. The story is told about how she was unimportant in James's life compared to Betty, but still felt love for him. This is shown in the line, "You weren't mine to lose," because while she felt a deep sense of loss at the end of the relationship, she knows that ultimately James was not hers and that he was Betty's. While she is not explicitly named, fans chose to name her Augustine based on the song title. She is slightly mentioned in the other songs, but August is her way of telling her own side of the story and how it affected her as well. Augustine reflects on how she would have done anything for James, like canceled my plans just in case you'd call, and was living for the hope of it all, wishing she was more to James than just a summer fling. The romance ultimately ended at the end of summer, which is shown in the line, August slipped away into a moment of time, signaling the end of summer and the relationship. The last part of the story is told from James's point of view in the song Betty. This song takes place in the present, while the other songs are reflecting back to the past. This starts after a school dance where James leaves Betty, then sees her dancing with another guy. James ends up leaving, and as he's on his way home, he sees Augustine pull up in her car, like a figment of my worst intentions, where things take off. Betty finds out this happens from a girl named Inez, who James originally says you can't believe, but this time it was true. Upset about this information, Betty switches homerooms, which is revealed in the first line of the song. Throughout the song, James talks about how all he wants to do is make it up to Betty and fix things with her. James tries to explain that it was just a summer thing, and that he is only 17 and doesn't know anything. James also says, "Slept next to her, but I dreamt of you all summer long," trying to reason what happened with him and Augustine. He talks about showing up at Betty's house for a party and wonders if she'll kiss him. Ultimately, the song ends and we will never know if Betty forgives James. There are many lyrical parallels between the 3 songs. While the lyrics are not explicitly the same, it takes some critical thinking to connect them to one another. This is something Taylor deliberately did to enhance the writing of the album. These are only a few of the several parallels in the 3 songs. The great thing about these lyrics being similar but needing context to connect is that the songs can be easily standalone stories. Each song is open to a different interpretation, and fans are able to connect their own stories instead of just this elaborate love triangle. Being able to leave songs open to interpretation while also explicitly telling 3 sides of a story is what I imagine to be a very difficult task, yet Taylor did it flawlessly. If you still have doubts about her writing abilities, these are only 3 out of the 274 songs she has written. Take a look at those lyrics, read some of the breakdowns of the songs, and maybe you'll change your mind about her talent.